What happens when a carefully crafted public image begins to unravel? For years, Meghan Markle has been at the center of a story that captivated the world, a modern fairy tale that seemed too perfect to question. But now, best-selling author and investigative journalist Tom Bower is pulling back the curtain, and what he's revealing could shake the foundation of Meghan's carefully built brand. Let's rewind. When Meghan first entered the royal spotlight, the narrative was clear. A biracial woman from a modest background breaking barriers and marrying into one of the most rigid institutions on earth. It was emotional, inspiring, and incredibly marketable. But according to Bower, that story wasn't as organic as it seemed. He claims Meghan's rise wasn't just luck or love, it was strategy. Bower spent months interviewing people from Meghan's past, friends, former colleagues, even her ex-husband Trevor Engelson. The picture he paints is of someone who viewed relationships less as emotional bonds and more as stepping stones. Connections were formed, leveraged, and quietly dropped when no longer useful. In Hollywood, that's not unheard of. But combine that pattern with a royal title, and the stakes change entirely. Bower doesn't just accuse Meghan of being ambitious. He suggests that her entire royal narrative, from the emotional Oprah interview to claims of naivety about royal life, was part of a carefully managed image campaign. He argues Meghan knew exactly who Prince Harry was and what global platform marrying him would provide. In his view, this wasn't a fairy tale romance. It was a calculated career move. And the person most affected by this, Bower says, is Harry himself. If his claims hold, Harry didn't just fall in love. He walked into a long-term PR strategy. He gave up his family, royal duties, and much of his public goodwill for someone who, according to Bower, may have seen him less as a life partner and more as a project. Meanwhile, Meghan's post-royal empire is starting to face turbulence. Her high-profile Spotify deal has ended, Netflix projects have slowed, and her Montecito lifestyle brand is struggling to find authenticity amid growing scrutiny. The public that once saw her as a truth teller is now asking a painful question. Was any of it real? What makes this situation more explosive is that Meghan's usual media tactics, carefully staged photos, emotional statements, controlling the narrative, don't work on Tom Bower. He doesn't want an interview or a partnership. He's digging for facts. And when someone like that starts uncovering details, PR spin alone can't keep the walls up. Insiders claim that Meghan's reaction behind the scenes has been intense, from angry emails to legal consultations, as she tries to contain the fallout. But the harder she pushes, the louder the story gets. Hollywood is a world built on image, and right now, Meghan's brand is looking radioactive. Studios want reliable stars, not controversies. Brands want safe partnerships, not headlines. Bower's revelations didn't just make noise. They hit the core of Meghan's brand. Suddenly, deals that once seemed guaranteed are cooling off. Executives are distancing themselves. Even the Sussex's foundation, Archewell, has reportedly seen a wave of staff departures. Behind the polished Instagram posts, multiple reports describe confusion and panic. And Harry? He's caught in the middle. Each new claim erodes the public sympathy he once enjoyed. According to royal insiders, even Buckingham Palace isn't gloating. But there's a quiet sense of vindication. Many of Meghan's most explosive accusations against the royal family are now being re-examined through a new lens. If parts of her story don't hold up, the rest starts to wobble too. The bigger issue for Meghan is control. For years, she excelled at shaping the narrative. She chose the lighting, the angles, the timing. But now, someone else is holding the pen, and they're not backing down when the legal letters arrive. Her response seems to be more of the same. More PR, more statements, more attempts to reclaim the narrative. But once the public senses cracks, it's hard to put the genie back in the bottle. Behind the scenes, some sources say Meghan may be planning a counterattack. Perhaps a new documentary, legal action, or a major media comeback to reclaim her image. But that's risky. If more people from her past step forward or more documents surface, it could deepen the damage. And Harry, already reportedly emotionally drained, might begin questioning everything he's built with her. Without Harry, Meghan loses not just a husband, but the royal identity that fueled her global fame. Even in Montecito, the once private haven, whispers are growing louder. Staff leaks, neighbors talk, and photographers hover. The fortress she built to protect the narrative has become a glass house. So, what's next? A quiet retreat doesn't seem to be Meghan's style. A dramatic rebrand could be on the horizon, perhaps a vulnerable interview, a tearful confession, or a redemption arc. But for a comeback to work, the fall has to feel genuine. And many believe Meghan's crisis feels orchestrated, not authentic. Meanwhile, Tom Bower reportedly isn't finished. He's said to have more interviews, evidence, and revelations on the way. The louder Meghan fights, the more relevant his claims become. It's a high-stakes chess match, and every move counts. And then there's the royal family. In a twist of irony, by saying nothing, they may be winning. While Meghan faces headlines and scrutiny, the royals remain silent, composed, and patient, letting time do the work.